Hey, what's going on, guys? Today we're going to be talking about the Oukitel C17 Pro and the Oukitel C21. If you're new to the crew, subscribe, get notified for more videos just like this. But if you're already part of the crew, salute. This is the full comparison of both devices. We're going to jump into the camera test. Now, cooler tones on the left on the 17 Pro, I did notice, but there was some more detail on this one. Softer tones here on the left. But when it comes to the front-facing cameras, we have the C21 on the right and the C17 Pro on the left. Both do a good job, honestly. When it comes to the front-facing camera, the C17 Pro just looks a little bit.
Hey, what's going on, guys? So the color science is completely different here. I'm looking at this car in front of me and the blues are way different. And
does look pretty good on both devices. Right now we're going to test out the zoom capabilities on both devices and see which one can have the clearer resolution and 4x zoom. I think it's the C21 Pro that gets the better details when you're fully zoomed in. And I definitely could say that it looks really good. So stay locked in with me, guys, and we're going to jump right into the full review.
Let's start off with the button placement. Now, when you turn both devices to this side, you're going to notice that we have familiar setups here. So we do have volume, the actual power button on the Oukitel right here on the C21 and on the C17 Pro are actually really similar. Now I'm trying to see if there's any give on both buttons. Now there's a little bit of give on the C21 Pro and the Oukitel C17 Pro. They both have a lot of give on the buttons. So, you know, it's pretty good because when you go to press the button, you're gonna be able to click it every time, but just let you know this one actually wiggles a little bit. So that's something to keep in mind. You can double press and get to your camera. They both do have facial recognition, as you can see, and they both have fingerprint sensors toward the back. Now let's take a look at the fingerprint sensors toward the back. The Oukitel C17 is gonna have, the 17 Pro is gonna have it towards the middle in the center, whereas the fingerprint sensor for the Oukitel C21 is toward the left side underneath the camera module. Now they're both plastic phones and they're both going to be pretty nice when it comes to the overall, you know, performance and things of that nature. Let's go to the brightness, and they're all the way maxed out at full brightness. Now we do have Android 9 on here and we do have Android 10. Now it appears that I have to get the same wallpaper for you to be able to see the screens side by side and kind of give you an idea of how they both look with the same wallpaper on there. So let me just go right here and long hold here, go to wallpapers, and let's see if we could find a familiar wallpaper on both devices. So you know, they're all different on here, but let's try to find something with similar colors here. So set wallpaper, and we're gonna do the home screen. Okay, so now you can see we do have a punch hole, so it's the left side, and on here we do have a punch hole in the left side as well. So both look really good. Both appear to be nice. Now the Oukitel C21 Pro is the first phone I ever had with a punch hole cut out, and you can see that punch hole looks really nice. It's a little bit bigger than the one on the right. It's a little bit smaller on the C21. Now when it comes to the overall display sizes, we're getting a 6.4 inch on the right here on the C21, and on the Oukitel C17 Pro you're going to be able to get a 6.35 inch display, which is pretty similar. So let's put them side by side, and they almost look exactly the same size. Now you can hear that muffled speaker when you get notifications. It's really loud, so you won't miss a notification. Now the panels look really bright and they both look really nice. So you do have your SIM card removal tool slot on the other side. They put the pin on this one on the bottom, and they put the pin on here at the top. I don't know if that makes a big difference. Now these both don't have headphone jacks. They have this light sensor at the top for the cameras, and on the bottom they both have the same placement of the microphones, Type-C charging, and speakers. So really similar design. Also the logo is on the bottom left hand corner on this one. It has some texture to it. This one I could also feel the letters with my fingers as well, right on the bottom. And this beautiful red color is absolutely gorgeous and stunning. Now it does scratch just a little bit. If you hold it up to the light, you will see a bunch of micro scratches, but nothing out of the ordinary. It's like this raspberry red color. Now we do have this like a blueberry color right here. It's like a mixture between royal blue and like when you switch it in the light, it goes from light to dark blue. Really like these colors. That you can get them in a variety of different colors to choose from. So in the batteries department, we're gonna get a larger battery on the C21. It's gonna be a 4,000 milliamp hour battery versus the 3,900 milliamp hour battery on the Oukitel C21 Pro. Let's test out the fingerprints and see which one performs quicker. 1, 2, 3. And that appeared to be the C17 Pro. 1, 2, 3. One more time. 1, 2, 3. And it appears that the fingerprint sensor on the C21 Pro reacts quicker. So 1, 2, 3. And it's easier to hit just because it's dead center. So I'm missing this one every time, but there's like a noise and an animation as well, whereas this one just gets you straight to the screen every single time with that fingerprint sensor. So I kind of like the fingerprint sensor on this one just a little bit better than the one right here. It's a little bit quicker as well, so I think that's pretty cool. Now another thing to note is you're gonna get a full HD plus display on the Oukitel C21. It's gonna be full HD display at 1080 by 2310, and we also do have a display which is going to be a 1080. We have the 1080 23 by 10 versus the 720 15 by 60, and they both look good in my opinion. Sharper images on the, you could definitely see the sharper text on this one. Everything appears to look pretty nice. It's a little bit more fuzzy on this one, and this one's a little bit more sharp. You can kind of tell the difference. Now, let me talk about the display on both of these devices. Now, we have Dragon Trail Glass on the Oukitel C17 Pro. Now, it's held up pretty well on here. There's not too many scratches on the phone where I could see here. It's Dragon Trail Glass, so it's not too bad. I've seen phones with that glass before. They both have frameless designs. Hole punch on the left side of both, but you're gonna get a smaller hole punch with 298 pixels per inch on the Oukitel C21. It's gonna have a slightly better display when you go to like social media like Facebook and things of that nature. You're gonna get the dark mode because it has Android 10. You're gonna have voice over LTE, meaning you're gonna be able to do video calls on this device on Metro by T-Mobile if they have that service. Now I know I had the feature on this phone as well for voice over LTE, which is gonna give you video calls on Metro by T-Mobile as well. And both phones are really good for everything in my opinion, like gaming. They're not the best in the world for like cameras, but they do take really good photos, just not like the best video, but you can take some cool video, and I will show you some samples so you can see like the Facebook is nice as well. You can actually customize the settings to make it darker, but I have to update the app on here. But the scrolling speeds are nice. I could even download the gallery from GameOzone. It's called GameOzone Gallery, and it's going to give you access to your gallery. I think that's pretty cool because you could take photos and images on both devices and access it through your gallery instead of using the Google Photos. But both devices do perform really nicely. I want to kind of talk about the colors that we get. We get the blue one here. It comes in green and it does come in black. The other one, which is the 6.4, actually this one is actually the one that comes in green, blue, and black. And this one comes in black, blue, and purple. So those are the colored options. Now, when it comes to the displays, more or less, they're both going to be nice, but it's going to be 85% screen to body ratio on the C21 Pro. And it's all plastic materials on there, but when you're browsing social media, the speeds are really good. In my opinion, it's just like really quick. Everything that you do, there's no real headaches or hiccups on anything. It's just really smooth. So overall, the scrolling speeds are going to be nice.
I don't care who we are, what we are, who we have, don't have. I'll never go into the floor thinking we don't have a chance to win a game.
So you can see right there, it sounds really good on the speakers.
I don't understand that mindset. I don't understand people who think like that.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. And then you can see right here, this one actually has doesn't have the full gestures on this device. So we're getting actually the home touch buttons, and you can see I'm trying to go back on this guy. So when you do that, you get the home touch buttons that can be disappeared right here. You could swipe up and get them back right here. So you know, I really like the gestures on the Oukitel C21 Pro, but you don't get an app drawer on this one, but you do get the app drawer on the Oukitel C21, so that's kind of weird. So they give you the stock, close app, they give you the stock app drawer on this one on the stock launcher, but on this one you don't get like a stock launcher. So that's kind of, you know, weird, but overall it's pretty cool that, you know, both devices offer different things. Now let's talk about the processing chips a little bit more deep. Now what's cool about the Oukitel C21 is that you have a gyroscope, so you can pretty much play games by tilting, and you know, it recognizes the motion with the sensor inside of it. You also do have a compass, accelerometer, light sensor, and proximity sensor. High-res graphics on here, so I think that's pretty cool as well. And it's going to be pretty good performance with the Helio MediaTek Helio P60 M6771 processing chip. Now it does have octa-core, clocked in at 2 gigahertz, and it's going to have an ARM Mali G72 MB3 700 millihertz. As far as the GPU, 4 gigabytes of RAM, and you can get the device in 64 gigabytes of internal storage of ROM. So that's pretty cool. I definitely think this device holds up really well when gaming because of that sensor. It's going to be really nice when you're gaming. As you can see right here, everything is pretty smooth. In my opinion, you're going to experience some really nice gameplay on this device, whether you're playing low graphics, high graphics. It doesn't matter. The phone feels really good in the hand, and it's optimized really well for gaming. So if you're the type of person that was going to play heavy games like Call of Duty Mobile, PUBG, things of that nature, I think you would be perfectly fine with it, so you wouldn't have to worry about that. Alright guys, so on the Oukitel C21, it's actually the C71 Pro is a little bit, it has the Helio P23 processing chip in it. There is a bit of little noticeable stutters on here when you're gaming. And it's not the most fastest to react when you're trying to shoot, but overall it has 4 gigabytes of RAM, 64 gigabytes of internal storage. It's using the A53 processing speed. But overall, it's not too bad. It's fairly decent. And you're getting some pretty decent speeds here. It's clocked in at 2.0 gigahertz, which is definitely pretty adequate. But the speakers on here are just fairly decent. They're not the best ones that you'll ever see in the entire world, but you're still able to play on here surprisingly well. You know, I'm not you know, disappointed with the performance that we're getting from it. So we're gonna jump into the camera samples right after this, and I'm gonna show you guys how this thing performs on the cameras compared to the Oukitel C21. But overall, I'm having a good time actually playing this. It's not too bad whatsoever. You're able to play high graphic games on here, and you can see it's performing pretty well. But I could overall definitely say that the performance has been increased on the Oukitel 21 compared to the C17 Pro in gaming performance. If you guys wanted to play high graphic games, I could definitely say that you should upgrade to the C21 because it's going to offer you performance which will be better suitable for high graphic games. Although you can play medium to low games on this one, if you wanted to get some better gameplay, you would be able to do that on the Oukitel C21. And the other thing is that this one has Android 10 and this one has Android 9. A cooler tone to the screen on the Oukitel C21 versus a more warmer screen tone on here. But overall, the A7 III is going to be in this cluster, which makes it snappier, and we're stuck with the A53 on both clusters. For the C21, you're going to get these A73 clustered, which I'm talking about, and the A53 is going to be both of these. So you're going to notice that, but overall the RAM size is the same, and so is the storage. And you know, I could see some improvements in the camera as well, but let me just show you guys what that looks like. Well, if you guys have the Oukitel or any Oukitel phone, leave me in the comment down below, let me know, but I'll check you guys later. Make sure you have a great day, evening, afternoon, and I'll get right back with you. Peace later, crew.